Yo, party people, this is Haggard Gaming. What's living, everyone? I hope y'all are having a chill day. Now gather around and get your grind on in World of Warcraft, or use this as background noise while you are doing something your family would be ashamed of. Have you ever ran? No? Loser. Although you are still less of a loser than me and my high school friends. In my junior year, I was a bad boy. I came to class a few minutes late, spray painted dicks on the bathroom stalls. But being a bad boy also entitles you to one free smooth brain. One of the main symptoms of being smooth brained is that you don't think you are a smooth brain. My friends were a perfect case of this. My friend Barry was the pseudo leader of our friend group. He drove us everywhere and was the kind of guy who asked for you to buy him food because it was more expensive than gas, even though he was in a decent enough financial state to buy his own food. Well, one day we were at his house, sitting in his small room playing Apex on his PS4. Our homie Breezy hit us up, so we got in Barry's truck. This wasn't a truck, it was a Chevy Tahoe, but he called it a truck. It's like calling a smart car a Toyota Corolla. Just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, we ended up with 5 more people in the car, including a girl who was really not comfortable to be there. I don't blame her. Teenage boys who are driving under the influence aren't the safest people to be around. Luckily, nothing bad happened to her. We drove to a small neighborhood by our school, and we were trying to find a good spot to smoke. Our big fucking brains connected our one collective brain cell and decided to go to a golf course. It was around midnight when we arrived at a canyon ridge above the golf course. We had to hike through 2 miles of canyons to reach this massive golf course. This was the only way besides going in through the front, which seemed stupid. Why someone decided to build a massive golf course in the middle of a canyon in a California desert, I have no idea. It's fucking stupid. We stumbled up and down little ridges on the way to the course, and we finally got there. We walked a further quarter mile into the course to reach a tall hill near the middle. There's a hole with a flag in it, which we started waving around, and we did the crappiest reenactment of the flag raising on Iwo Jima. What a disgrace. 7 high teenagers raising a flag the soldiers fought for their lives for. That was just a small scope of our stupidity. Just you wait. We whipped out a bong and started blasting the Beatles, Pink Floyd, and the Grateful Dead. We were massive hippies, and we actually made a band, but that's for another time. The people there were Barry, the leader, as previously established, Gavbo, the instigator, Breezy, the hypocritical dumbass, Ponyboy. He was just a nice guy who nobody really cared about except for me. Amelia, the girl who was with us, Mikey, the guy with anger issues, and me, the innocent, straight kid. 2 things that were fucking lies. Down the hill from us was a little shack, probably just a groundskeeper shack, but the light was on. For some reason we didn't think anyone was in there. To this day I still don't know if someone was in that shack. But anyways, after we all hit the bong, we started having independent conversations with each other. I was looking the opposite way from which we came, while talking to Ponyboy about vacuum tube amplifiers. He was deaf, but he had really high quality hearing aids, which helped him to hear, although it was still pretty hard for him to hear anything. He was a band kid, just like Barry and me, so he had enough in common. While we were talking, my heart stopped. Time stopped. Even just thinking about this moment makes my heart race. I saw a light about a quarter mile away, behind some trees. Ponyboy asked me why I went silent, and I said, "There is a light." They all looked over, and it was the longest 2 seconds in my life that I could remember. After those 2 seconds of silence staring at the light, we picked up our shit and ran faster than we ever have before. We ran a quarter mile to get off the golf course, and another 2 miles to the car. We heard sirens blaring behind us and shouts from the security guards. That was the longest I've ever ran. We didn't stop until we reached the top of the ridge where the car was. We all packed into the car except for Barry. He poured out his bong in the gutter, wrapped it neatly in bubble wrap, wrapped a jacket around it, and then stuffed it in his backpack before he got in the car. We were begging him to get in, and he chuckled lightly, and said he was putting the bong away. This was the most big brain decision of them all. Take your time and pack up a bong while we were actively being chased by security guards. Did they chase us all the way up the canyon? Or if they did they even have the right to? I don't know, but I do know that in the heat of the moment, we wanted to slap the fuck out of him and throw the bong over the edge of the ridge. Even bigger brain was that when all the heat was away, when we started driving and we were all calmed down, we decided to go to a skate park a mile away to finish the rest of our weed. I stayed in the car because I was extremely paranoid that we were going to get arrested. Amelia also stayed in the car, and she reassured me that we weren't going to get caught. Even though my common sense got the better of me, this did help a little. I came out to her, probably because I was baked out of my mind, and we ended up talking about cute guys at our school. I left the car to get some air, as it was very warm in the car. Then the funniest thing happened all night. Barry started vomiting profusely in the bowl of the skate park. He was smiling while the puke was dripping from his mouth, and the smell was truly rancid. It was awful, truly awful. Most of the night after that was a blur, but I do remember him driving us all home, and we were all relieved that the night was over. I hope you can all relate this to something in your life. You aren't alone in your experiences. I hope you all have a good time listening to this story, and I hope you got something meaningful out of it. Please like this video and subscribe so I can share experiences to more people who might need to hear them, or who just want a fun story to listen to. This has been Haggard Gaming with Storytime. Good night, folks.